Good morning, everyone. EagleX from ATX EagleX Gaming here today, and I have our Marketwatch for July 15th. If you guys enjoy this content, I would appreciate it if you can like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I want to start with some things. First, thank you to everyone who's helped me reach my goal of over 500 subscribers. Now, my next big milestone is hitting that big 1K subscribers. It'll be exciting to get there. Lots of channel growth is great, and I wasn't expecting it to go this fast. Secondly, if you guys didn't know, I have webcam locals every week on Tuesdays, starting at 6 p.m. Central Time. I try to give away at least a booster box if we have at least 8 people, and then I'd like to bump up the ante for more people. This last week we had a great turnout of 15 people. It's a lot of fun, and we can kind of see how the metagame's adapting, and we create community within people, not just within the US, but also internationally. Anyways, let's go ahead and get rolling with today's Marketwatch. So first, sealed product. We're going to take a look, and we know 1.0, as always, every week is going to be the high dollar booster. But this week, we actually see double diamonds starting to pop up a bit more. $1.15 a box. And it's not just like the chase for Ghost Omni, but like we have staples that are worth more in the set now. So if we hop over to double diamond, like, yes, we have the Alphamon, we have the BL Starmon, but we have TK Karis. The Memory Pluser, the Dual Tamer, is actually worth a good amount now. It's a $4 rare from a newer set. And then obviously, like, all the alt arts are actually pretty decent in the set. The higher dollar ones being the Impmon, and the Alphamon, and BL Star. It's your secret alt arts. But, like, you also have your box topper eggs, which I believe are all worth it. Good chunk from the set. If we do box topper, and we're going to filter double diamond. Because I know the Kiara and the Pagu are the most sought after ones, but Suno and Demimera are also played quite a bit. Penis awkwardly played in green decks, but you have Gummymon now, which is like your preferred egg. But yeah, double diamond, not the worst set if you can get it for a decent price. Next thing I want to talk about are the Judge stamp cards. If you guys remembered and you saw Judge Greymon, $250. It wasn't selling. Well, now we see Judge Greymon at $83, and we can see it's still not selling. So what that means is this price is getting closer, albeit it's a bit too high for what the average buyer that would want this card would be. So what I realistically expect, Judge Pack 1 is towards the end of its life cycle, from what I'm aware. So keep an eye out on the cards you may want from the set. The Kabu blockers are going to be popular with green OTK. Greymon for any red Greymon, Gaiomon deck. Tyrannomon for black decks. And then I would expect, honestly, any of the Evo for 1 blockers to be worth something. But just keep an eye out. These prices are getting a lot more reasonable, and a lot more people are actually buying. Next, on a similar note, Event Pack 1, Event Pack 2. If you guys don't have your cards from Event Pack 1 or 2, it's not a bad time. You got some really good scoops. So I know lots of the vanillas aren't really worth anything, but if you want to collect, $2 for Event Pack 1 Salamon, $3 for Biomon, $5 for Candlemon are not bad. Goblimon sees a little bit more play with green OTK, which is why its price is a little bit higher than the others. Soundbird might see some play in Musketeers, but I don't really expect it to take off. The Beowulf, I'm surprised that's $4, because that actually sees more play. But then you have your Digimon with effects that tend to be a bit more higher dollar in comparison to the vanillas. So just things to keep an eye out for. Unimon for $3 feels cheap to me, but also I don't remember the last time seeing a blocker relevant in a format. Anyways, next. You guys, if you pay attention to card spoilers in EX3, we have a red-purple Vmon Imperial Dramon line. So this is like the Dino B, and this is the new fighter mode, I believe it was. One thing to pay attention to, this is a red and purple card. And I told a lot of locals about this already, but I can honestly see, because of how that set's being built at the moment, that you can see Hawkmon. If that deck is good, Hawkmon will go into it, and if it does, I expect its price to go up in the long run. So at $6, this is not a bad scoop. Similar to Armadillomon, if they have more dual-colored yellow cards being introduced, then Armadillomon will be a good card. They're just good longevity cards, assuming dual colors will be a thing still. And similar note, this is the Chaosdramon alt art, and for Chaosdramon, it has synergy with Machine Dramon. So if you don't have Machine Dramons, honestly, not a bad time to scoop. This is roughly the bottom point for what they'll be for a bit. So pick up Machine Dramons for $12 if you don't have any. Next, I want to kind of talk about the meta. So I've talked about Grandest Kuwagamon. We know Grand Kuwagamons are like $13 a piece. Palmons are like $12 to $15 a piece. But there's other cards we can look at for similar decks, or for other good decks. The main two Tier 1 decks being Yellow Hybrid and the Garuru X Antibody. For Garuru X Antibody, this is kind of like how a lot of people will build the deck. And if you guys haven't noticed, there are some price increases from cards that see play in this deck already. One thing to pay attention to, though, is the Garuru promos, as I pointed out for a long time now, EX1 Melga, and Blitz Omni. So if we start at the bottom, the Garuru promo level 4, he has no alternative prints compared to the Were Garuru. He has a lot less supply compared to the Were Garuru. If you don't have this card, I would definitely get it if you intend on trying it out. On a similar note, the Were Garuru, like I just mentioned, has had another print run in the form of the regional participation packs. So I expect his price to be a little lower in the long run, but he is more necessary for the deck, as this will be a 4 of in that deck, compared to the Garurumon, which is a 2 to 4 of in the deck. And then EX1 Melga, this card has been spiking, or not spiking, but climbing faster here in the US. $30 for the alt, roughly $7 for the regular. I've been selling these for $7s pretty comfortably. And it's like relatively populated in the market now, so it's probably stable at the $6 to $7 mark. But this alt art, I do expect to kind of keep climbing up, especially if it sees a lot more play than people realize. And not to mention, there's 4 listings. This card's going to spike up faster than you realize too, soon to the $40 mark. Then Blitz Omnis. This is your finisher for these blue decks. As you build up your stack, you get extra check for the Were Garuru. You get your attack. You get a restand. You get an extra check. You will be cleaving through a lot of security relatively fast. You need a way to finish game. Blitz Omni is the way to do it for the probably best level 7 slot in the deck. Now, Yellow Hybrid is that other deck. This isn't really more so of a deck I would expect a lot of people to run, but more so of like cards you want to look at that are using a lot of variants. In the red base variants, you have your Dash Pack Gilmon. In your yellow variant, or any variant really, you have Sakuyamon. Because it becomes an OTK format, it's your response to decks cleaving your security in one go. Susanomon, he's not splashed in, but he's like a one-of in builds. Dexmon is the new big secret that everyone's playing in their builds. So first, let's talk about Sakuyamon. Got 3 arts for it. You got the regular rare, which is almost $1 now. You got the pre-release, which is roughly $10. And then you got the new Tamer set one, which is like 20-ish bucks. Honestly, look at getting this card sooner than later, because I anticipate this to be a very big piece of the meta for yellow. And as mentioned, Dash Pack Gilmons. One thing you do have to be aware about this card, it is a great card for red base, but there is the alt art coming out for the Gen Con packs for participating for their regional or for their online or their Grand Prix event. So he does have an alt art coming. So if you don't have it, don't feel rushed to get it at the moment. but I would definitely monitor his price. It's $20 for a promo is when it starts getting on the pricier side of this game. And I mentioned Susano. He's like a one-of. If you don't have him, $20 secret, pretty good. Will he go below 20? Maybe $15 at lowest. But he's played is the thing. He has a lot of longevity in this game as long as hybrids are relevant. So just be aware of that. And then Shine Greymon. I actually kind of want to bring it up. He didn't really see a lot of play when we were in the BT7 format. However, he is popping up again. So it might be worth looking at for $1. If you don't have Shine Greymons, pick up your Shine Greymons. If you want the alt art, pay the $9 for the alt art. Because he does just kind of pop up as like a 1 to 2 of index. And with how cheap that is, it's not bad at all. Now, I talked about Dexmon being a card that I expect to be splashed in a lot of decks. I expect this to be a pricey secret. Everyone compared Susano as like the staple card everyone needed for their decks. However, I think this is going to be even more of a big necessity for the upcoming format. A play cost of 20 is reduced by 3 for every Digimon and Tamer in play, I believe. And if we look at Japanese single prices, starting with the alt art, got like 85 yen or 8,500 yen. For the regular art, it's like 6,500 yen. And just to cross check another site, it's roughly 100,000 yen, roughly 7,000 yen. I expect this to be very similar to Omnimon's Work Defeat, as this card was splashable in a lot of decks, especially black and purple ones, and security control being the main uses of this card. And if we follow its trend, this card is like $60, more so most of its life. I think it was 70 on like its release for a bit. But expect Dexmon to be a card that is in the $70 range when it comes out, and it'll probably hold around $65 to $75 each. With that being said, if you guys enjoy this content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. With that being said, take care, y'all.